What's up, y'all? It's Quadruple G. Now, I just wanted to kind of get on here real quick and talk about a couple things that's been going on. I think you'll appreciate the better quality of recording because I'm on a slightly newer phone, but we could talk about that. That could be something we could talk about. But sorry if you guys hear noise or anything like that. I don't know how many people are even watching this. It's kind of like a diary, I guess. Just kind of hanging out with you guys. But yeah, so there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. It's just this new year, and there's already been tons of news and everything. But yeah, I think there's stuff in the industry going on. Everyone's talking about AI and what role it's going to play in the future. And I was talking with someone from church the other day from our co-op, and they were saying that they're trying to get their kids into like coding and stuff like that. So just jobs for the future. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I feel like as far as gaming goes this year, hasn't really been a whole lot. But yeah, I know that everyone's talking about Nintendo right now pretty much, and everything that's going on with them and their stocks and their performance over the holiday, and everyone just keeps touting the same lines, like their launch lineup's been okay, and they've been doing well enough, like they have the fastest selling console and all that. And I think there's some strengths and weaknesses there, and I don't think people really tell you these things, but there's a lot of stuff that people don't take into consideration when they go online and they start talking about this stuff. First off, we don't have to be qualified financial people, or we don't have to work for Circana or anything like that to talk about these things. But there are some important factors I feel like to take into consideration that a lot of people don't really think about. The first one is population size. So, if you take into consideration even the way our economy is, the population size here in the US at least, it's growing, right? It's different than in the 90s. So a lot of people like to compare what we have from back then, and I don't think they adjust for that. So that's something I feel like people don't really think about. If you have more people, you have more kids, and there's even other things to take into consideration with kids too, is that maybe people aren't having as many kids nowadays, or maybe they're not documented or whatever, so they could be an illegal immigrant, and they're not taking those things into consideration as well. They're going by sales, right? But it's like they don't take in population size with those sales. I think there's a couple things that could be said about the numbers for those things, but I think in general, the family size and just the average person age playing video games nowadays, I think is like 35 or 34, 36, somewhere around there. So I feel like that's not really something that people talk about either. And yeah, I mean, the other thing that you can't forget is that when they released the console, they had plenty of stock. So if you compare like PS5, for instance, I feel like it's not a fair comparison. Sorry for the noise, the car noise and stuff. There's probably gonna be someone driving a really loud car. But yeah, I feel like people don't really take that into consideration because, it's like that console was hard to get. I didn't get one till a few years after, and I ended up, sorry, I'm gonna switch sides here. I ended up getting a refurbished one. So I didn't even get like a brand new one or whatever because it's just the pricing, right? Yeah, Switch 2 thoughts. I did get a Switch 2. I'll make another video about that. I really want to sit down and kind of like I'm trying to find my my phone holder because I had a holder. It was like a one with a flexible arm, and I was trying to, I'm going to try to start filming a little bit and try to start making comparisons between phones and consoles and stuff like that. I love the Switch and the Switch 2. I have all of the Switches, like I have the launch Switch. I don't have the red box anymore, but I had the red box Switch. But I sold that one to pay for the OLED. So I have the OLED and the Switch 2, and I have the Switch Lite as well. The Switch Lite was my first console because it was cheap to get into, and I played that one for a little bit. I think I played a Breath of the Wild on it, which is Breath of the Wild is amazing. But yeah, so another comparison that people are drawing between these numbers for Nintendo right now is about for the Switch 2, the sales being so well, is going so well for them, I should say, is they don't take into the fact, like when they talk about the Switch 1 and the launch games and stuff like that, they don't really take into consideration that was a console that launched and it was the first of its kind. The Switch 2 is literally a sequel with all of the games that you can already pretty much play, or most of them at least. Which for me, Xenoblade, the way it looks and stuff like that on Switch 2 right now, it's just like it's not happening right now. It's not good enough right now. But yeah, anyways, you have all these games. That's a little side note. Nintendo update those games. They don't take into consideration that this is a second gen console. So a lot of people are throwing it out there, like comparing it to the Switch 1 and like, oh, this launch is better. And how long have these developers had to make these games for a system that has like the same store, the same cartridge slot, and they're not even doing like physical cartridges, they're doing the key cards, so it's like they're just digital games pretty much. And not a lot of people are talking about that. Like, yeah, they came out with Bonanza and Mario Kart World. I mean, what else is a really good one? Like, I haven't even bought those games because it's just not my taste. Like, I'm more of an RPG player, so I feel like sorry, that was a bus right there. I feel like people also don't take that into consideration. I can acknowledge that the launch lineup for the Switch 2, they have literally more games because the Switch 1 lineup wasn't great. They have like 1-2 Switch and ARMS, I think, and like Breath of the Wild. I don't even know if ARMS and 1-2 Switch was day one. Maybe it was. I can't remember. But I jumped into the Switch late, probably in 2020 or 2019 or something like that. So I was a couple years late on that. But I jumped into the Switch 2 a little bit earlier, and I don't absolutely love it. I don't think it's necessary, honestly, for people to upgrade. That's just my opinion. I think if you have an OLED, or if you have even a Switch Lite, or even a launch Switch, I think you're totally fine with those. I was comparing screens the other day, and I'll try to I'll try to do that one day, like live, because I feel like the way I want to make these videos, because I don't really know how to edit, is I just kind of want to talk to you guys and hang out, and I want you guys to post stuff in the comments. If I get anybody watching videos, it'd be amazing. But it's just kind of like to talk about the stuff and kind of just vent and just hang out with you guys. But the screens on the systems they're still solid, man. The old systems are still really good. This new Switch 2 screen is like, it's weird. I watched a bunch of reviews on it the other day, and it's just it's just kind of weird. There's like ghosting issues, and like the nits aren't, it's not that good. Like they claim HDR and it's not true HDR. All the stuff about that is out there from Digital Foundry, and there's a guy who reviewed computer screens. I can't remember what his channel was called, but he did a really in-depth video of that. And sorry, I'm trying to see, watch my back. You know what I'm saying? Quadruple G's got to watch his back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we just hanging out, But yeah, anyways, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, you're gonna get the quality that they give you. You can't really ask for anything more than that. But there's a lot of things about Switch 2 I don't like. I don't think you need to upgrade right now. That's just my opinion. Take it from a Switch 2 owner, because I actually put my money where my mouth is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start hitting back here. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, that's another thing that people don't take into consideration about the Switch 1, and that's kind of what I wanted to throw out there. I'm just talking with you guys. This is like I'm just a brand new person out here on the internet, just talking about stuff. I'm a nobody, but it's cool for you guys if you guys hanging out. If anybody watches this, tell me what you think. But yeah, I don't think people are taking a lot into consideration when it comes to everything that these people are doing nowadays with these numbers, and they're trying to take all this financial stuff, and they're trying to look at the whole world, and trying to make comparisons between the then and the now. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, is that the then is not the now, and people are trying to do that. They're trying to compare like I don't know, on a games level, Breath of the Wild, like Mario Kart World is cool, bro, but like, I don't know, like if you play one kart game, like it's great, like, but from one to the next, I mean, like, is it really like the biggest upgrade, or like, does it really have that much more stuff? I don't think so. I just think they're good games, they're fun, but you don't really have to buy the newest Mario Kart. Like, I'm totally fine with Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. Totally fine with it. Like, that game is solid still, like, but yeah, like, what else? 64, Mario Kart 64, dude, that game is still awesome to this day. But yeah, you don't really need that stuff, right? Like, Mario Kart Wii, that's a good one too. I mean, what's the differences between really, like, characters, and it's another Mario Kart game, like, and I've heard the open world's not that impressive in Mario Kart World. So there's like other modes, I guess. If you wanted to play other modes, you could do that, but I don't know. For me, it's not really calling me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think my daughter would love it, but she loves all the stuff. Like, she played the old stuff, she played the new stuff. It's just fun. It's just, all of them are fun, but honestly, what I'm waiting for the Switch 2 is like another Xenoblade, something like that, something that really take advantage of the hardware. I feel like, as a super Xenoblade fan, I feel like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3, and in certain parts, 2 and 3 especially, there was a lot of reused assets, of course. I mean, but what are you gonna do, But the game 3 was amazing. 2 was incredible. I think 2 was one of my favorite games of all time. But yeah, something like that would call out to me, or like a decent RPG, like Bravely Default on a Game Key card. It's not really enough for me to purchase. And how much is it? Like $40 or $50 or something like that. Like, I think it's more than what it was on the 3DS. And right now you can get the 3DS version for like $25. You know what I mean? So, and that's probably complete in box, $25, $30. It's worth it, I think, to just get it there. and you have the gimmick of the 3D as opposed to just upgraded graphics, you know what I mean? But anyways, guys, I always think about some criticisms that I have of these YouTubers coming on, and they start making all these comments, and it's just, I feel like they're good for the most part. They have a lot of good parts to them, but they're missing a lot of context, or which I'm gonna do as well, because I'm not that deep looking into everything. I'm just trying to. Sorry, I don't know if you hear that, but there you go, I walked a mile. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I don't know if you heard that or not. My bad. I have the headphone. I have these Method A and C's in right now. So if you hear that, my bad. I heard everything. So, but yeah, guys, just let me know what you think. Throw some more context at me. I want to learn too. I want to grow. But just for me seeing everything, I don't know. I think there's a lot at play. Let me just say this to finish off. I don't think hardcore gamers are really happy, and I think a lot of the sales data that you are seeing right now is like you're seeing a lot of early adopters, but you're also seeing a lot of casuals now. You're starting to see a lot of casuals, and I know some super casual gamers that bought the Switch like day one, and I'm like, why would you do that? But it's just the next best thing, and they have the money, they could do it. But I don't know. I think if you're looking at the landscape, if you're looking at Nintendo, if you're looking at everything, like they do have some decent titles coming up. But I don't even know when they're going to come out. 2026 looking a little bit dry right now. Excuse me, what do you have? I don't know. There's the tennis game, and I don't know, Final Fantasy VII Remake. That game's already been played. But yeah, I don't know. I think if you look at the landscape, I think Nintendo gamers, they want Nintendo games. They're not playing third party, you know what I mean, on Nintendo. On the Switch, they were just never doing it. So the fact that all these new ones are coming out, I think people are just kind of okay, we'll take it, I guess. It is what it is, but it's not something that everyone was really even asking for or looking forward to. But I don't know. I think across the board, people aren't really super happy about what's going on. But anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it. If I think about anything, come back on and just kind of vent with you guys and hit me back. Tell me what you guys think. Peace out.